Hey guys, it's Justine here from I Should Read That, and today is the start of a weekend reading vlog. This was intended to be a weekly reading vlog, and then this week happened, and it's been kind of a weird one, so I don't mean to overload and contribute to the oversaturation, but it is of course week 3 for me, week 2 I think for most people, of self-isolation and of social distancing, because we are in the midst of a global pandemic, which is good fun. On Monday of this week, the UK government announced that they were shutting everything that was not considered essential, and people were not allowed outside, with the exception of going to get food and medicine and having your one allotted exercise outdoors. So it's been a little bit weird. I've had some ups and downs with kind of my mental health and stuff. Yesterday was a really tough day, just because I think there's nothing that's really bothering me. I'm actually kind of doing really well in terms of being in self-isolation, as I'm doing for the next week and a half or so, because I did have some symptoms that were similar to COVID-19, although I don't think I actually had it. I'm just being super cautious. I'm kind of, I don't know, there's something about it just being a weird time that's really messing with my brain. Despite the fact that I really love working from home, and Scottish husband and I are actually doing really great working from home. I've got Animal Crossing to see me through all of that, but for some reason it's just really messing with my brain. So I wasn't really able to get the energy and sort of will to do a reading vlog this week, so I'm doing a weekend one. So basically, I'm going to catch you up on my readings so far, my book post and things like that, and my plans for this weekend. So I finished one book this week, and that is My Best Friend's Exorcism by Grady Hendrix. I really enjoyed this. I listened to the audiobook, which was really fantastic. And the reason I found this audiobook is because I was looking at the narrator who did The Bone Witch, which I listened to last week. Really liked her. Found out she did this as well, which has been sat on my TBR for a long time, and decided to have a listen, and I really enjoyed it. It's really good fun. I'll talk about it more in my wrap-up, but it's really good 80s-tastic fun. There's a lot of content warnings that go with it if you are not a kind of typical horror reader, I think, but it was really enjoyable. I thought that it was just great, so this was a big hit for this week. I've started a couple of other things. I'm bouncing around a lot with my reading, and yeah, it's going okay. But I have started and put down a couple of things. Whether or not it'll be permanent, I don't know. But one of those was Spin the Dawn by Elizabeth Lim. I started this because I had such a good time reading Descendant of the Crane last week that I wanted another YA fantasy that I had in hardcover on my shelves. I started this, and I don't know if you guys ever get this, but have you ever had a moment where you're reading a book and there's one really stupid thing that happens, one stupid detail or whatever that happens, and you're like, I don't want to read this anymore, that's so dumb. She's knitting multiple jumpers on a carriage ride, like a 5-day carriage ride or whatever. If she was knitting 24 hours without stopping, day upon day, she could maybe do a jumper in a couple weeks. Knitting jumpers is hard. You can't knit multiple jumpers in one fucking carriage ride. Girl, come on. That made me so mad. Maybe I just need to lighten the fuck up or something, but I got 40 pages into this and I was like, no! So yeah, that's a thing. She also pretends to be disabled for no real reason, because she's posing as her brother to go and become the Imperial Tailor, to kind of almost audition to be the Imperial Tailor, but girls are not allowed to be tailors. Boys are. So she's posing as her brother, who was crippled in the war. He's paralyzed from the waist down, and so nobody really knows this. No one in the Imperial City knows this, but she decides to put on a limp anyway. It's really weird. I just, something about this didn't work with my head at the moment, so I'm gonna put it down for now. I'll pick it up again at some point, but yeah, this has been kind of a bit of a fail for me. There've been other books that I've picked up and put aside, but this is the one that really stands out, so yeah. In terms of what I'm reading right now, there are two things that I've got on the go, one audiobook and one physical book. The audiobook is The Light Brigade by Cameron Hurley. I'm really loving this. It's so good. I'm almost halfway through the audiobook, and it's everything I wanted Starship Troopers to be. And I hated Starship Troopers, but I loved the concept. So this is really fantastic. I'll talk about this more in my wrap-up / my book haul at the end of the month, but basically it's a military sci-fi novel following one character as they enter basic training and through the time that they become a soldier, and clearly something is going very, very wrong. It's great. I'm really enjoying this one. So this is my audiobook for the moment, and I am also reading The Queen of Crows by Mike Cole. This is the second book in the Sacred Throne trilogy, which are all novellas. This is the longest one, I think, and I read The Armored Saint last year, about this time last year, and I really enjoyed it. I've been meaning to get to this for ages. I finally picked it up, not only because it's a hardcover from my hardcover shelf, and if you saw my vlog last week, you'll know that, like, a goal of mine, now that I've separated out all my hardbacks, is to read some of them down. So novellas are working really great for my brain right now. I read a bunch of novellas last week, and I'm going to continue that on. I am really enjoying this. It's a little bit more fast-paced than the previous book, which was a bit slower. It took me a really long time to read, but I did really enjoy it. This is much pacier, which is great. So I'm about halfway through this right now. And just to show off the book post that I've received this week, because I have indeed been a very lucky lady this week, I received, I think, kind of the last of the physical books that are going to be going out for a little while, because all the publishers are rightfully working from home. So I just wanted to show these off really quick. Some of them I might not get to for a long time. Some of these you will be seeing in upcoming reading wrap-ups over the next few months, but just to run through them super quick, I'll talk about them again more in my book haul. From Titan Books, I have Deck of Omens by Christine Lynn Herman. This is the sequel to The Devouring Grey, which came out last year, and I read and really loved. I think I have a review for. If I do, I'll put it up on the screen in the corner so you can take a look, but this is a super highly anticipated sequel for me. It is YA, sort of like fantasy-ish, but it's in a modern setting, and sort of the fantastical meets modern settings. Really enjoying right now. So this one I'm super excited for. I believe it comes out in May here in the UK. And then I have another sequel. This is The Camelot Betrayal by Kiersten White. This is the sequel to The Guinevere Deception, which I do definitely have a review for. Again, I'll link it on the screen. I'm very excited for this. I enjoyed The Guinevere Deception a lot. I didn't know what to expect because I know people either love or hate her books. It seems like there's no real middle ground there. But that was my first one of hers. This will be my second one of hers, and I have a few other Kiersten White books on my shelves, which I am definitely interested in reading after reading The Guinevere Deception. So I'm very pumped for this. I think this doesn't come out till May or June, maybe? It comes out later this year. I don't know when. I didn't actually bother to look. If I remember, I'll put it on the screen. Then I got a very large package from the wonderful people at Angry Robot Books, which is an independent publisher based in London. And basically they got in touch about one book, attached their catalog, and were like, let us know if you want anything else. And I was like, yeah, there's a couple of things. So the book that they got in touch about was 16th Watch by Mike Cole. This is basically Coast Guard in space. He, I believe, is a former member of the Coast Guard, so that is something I'm really looking forward to. I had the digital review copy, but it's a little bit dense, I think, so I think that a physical copy will be much easier to read. This is out now. It came out in March. They also sent me a copy of Creeping Jenny by Jeff Noon. This is the third book in a series of kind of interconnected sort of sci-fi mystery books, but you don't have to read them in order, I was assured. This is the third one. I'll be starting with this one, and I actually found the second one, which is called The Body Library, in my local library before we all went on lockdown. So I don't know a huge amount about it, but I've heard really good things about these, and these covers always catch my eye, so I've been wanting to pick them up for ages. Then we have some backlist books that I pulled from the catalog. So the first being The Light Brigade, which I've already talked about, currently reading this one. Then we have The Traitor God by Cameron Johnston. This is a fantasy book, and I believe the second one is out now at the moment. This is another one that is on Scribd, which is how I'm listening to the audiobook for The Light Brigade, so I might be picking this one up very soon. And I have Lost Gods by Micah Yongo. This also has a sequel that's out right now, and I've heard really good things about this one. So again, don't know a huge amount about it, but I know some people who have read it, whose opinions I really, really trust, and they've really enjoyed it. So I'm very much looking forward to this as well. So now to get on to the books that I'm actually going to be reading this weekend, I put up a very timely poll on Twitter, and you can follow me on all of social media and all that. All of my links are down below. I'm much more active on Twitter than I am on BookTube, so if you ever want to chat, that's where you'll find me. But I put up a poll seeing what I should read next. I had chunky books, big thick books, and I had 2019 releases that I hadn't read yet. So both the books that ended up getting chosen are not only big chunky books, they also qualify for the readathon that my friend Asha is running this weekend, which is all about reading big books. So I have these two. I'm not going to get through them this weekend because not only is The Starless Sea and The Queens of Innisleer meant to be very, very slow paced and slow burning, they're also really big. So I think what I'm going to do is probably start with The Starless Sea, because I think that might be a bit pacier maybe, and then I'll do The Queens of Innisleer. All I know about this is that people either love it or hate it. It's a King Lear retelling, which I'm so pumped for, and I know that it is a very slow burning book, so I think that I'm a little bit more cautious about this one, so I'm probably going to start with The Starless Sea. We'll see how it goes. I will report back, and right now I'm going to insert some reading and cat footage. Saturday evening, and my plans for the day kind of went awry because someone, a cat named Sophia, decided that it would be a really good idea to have a wardrobe fight with her sister at 4 o'clock in the morning. And the problem with them fighting in the wardrobe is not only do you get like yowling cat sounds, you also get them like wrestling against the like sliding doors of the wardrobes. They're like bashing around all night, which was really not great fun. So because I didn't sleep very well, I had a lot of trouble falling asleep before then. My day has kind of been shot. A lot of my plans for the day have not come to fruition at all, but that's okay. Shit happens, it's fine. I have done some stuff though, which is good. I went for a short run with Scottish Husband, a very short run for him because he is currently marathon training and I am just getting off the sofa and wobbling around. So we're at very different levels of running, but he comes running with me, which is really nice, and it's a good way to get out of the house. I also made a buttload of cupcakes because baking is one of my like happy brain things. I took a lot of naps. Yeah, we watched a movie with my sister via syncing it up with Prime and having each other on speakerphone, which was good. We watched, what was it called? Stupid Steven Seagal movie. I can't remember what it was called. It's the one where he's on the ship and Tommy Lee Jones is there inexplicably in a leather jacket, which was good fun. But yeah, no, it was a good day. It just took a while to get going. Hi, Dax. And now I've got a small cat with me. You can't see her, but she's currently curling up in my lap. In terms of reading, I was planning on starting the Starless Sea today. And after a couple of pages, I knew I couldn't get into that book. It was not what was working for me at the time, because it's one of those books that's quite slow, I think, and kind of like the lyrical writing and everything like that, which my brain does not want right now. My brain wants like fast-paced, really like really involved and something that like will consume my brain. So I tried that, and then I tried The Queens of Innisleer, which is basically the same problem. So what I ended up doing is I set both of those aside. I will pick them up again at a certain point. Dax, when all of this is over, she just knocked my book off my lap. And I did decide instead to pick up Docile. I talked about this last week. I intended to read it last week, but you know, it's about like a dystopian society in which people sell themselves essentially as sex slaves to trillionaires. And I felt like maybe this wasn't the best time to read it. However, I have changed my mind this week and I decided to give it a go. And I am actually 112 pages in just from yesterday evening. I haven't read it all today. So this is very, very fast-paced. It's deeply uncomfortable, and enjoying it is the wrong word, but I don't have a better word, so I am enjoying it. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and continue on reading Docile and hanging out with Dax, apparently, because she sat in my lap. She's doing the thing that she did last week where she's completely off camera, but I'm happy she's here. Dax dug her nails into my leg, and I completely forgot if like I had finished, if I was saying anything still. I don't know, but there was a lot of pain happening, and then she got her claws stuck in my leg and it was awful. So we're out of that traumatic situation right now, but just in final terms for this update, we do have a new member of the family, because apparently Amazon has restricted its delivery to essential items only, but they did decide that this giant sloth that Scottish husband got me because I was having a bad mental health day was essential. So we got him next day delivery. This is Bernard. He's gonna be in a lot of my reading vlogs, I think, because he's huge, and I took a nap like using him as a pillow earlier, and he's just like the perfect size for hugging, and he's got an amazing face. So you'll see him hanging out a lot in this vlog. I feel like I'm kind of going mad, but that's okay. He's gonna be my new quarantine friend. Hi, hello. So it is currently Sunday. It's like late morning, early afternoon-ish, and I'm making bread like many millennials in quarantine. However, the difference being that I am usually making bread. I used to make it like once a week or so, and stopped for a while because things got busy. And yeah, so I'm just gonna like vlog baking. I hope y'all don't mind, because why not? So I can post my recipe down below if you're interested. Scrape all the flour away. But it's really, really, really super easy. These are just baguettes. So I'm in kind of the first stage where you make the dough, you knead the dough, or if you're me, you have a lovely KitchenAid mixer that you got on your wedding registry, and you don't have to knead the dough that much. So you do the dough, knead, 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 stick it in a bowl, cover it, let it rise for an hour or so, and then you go ahead and form it and bake it. So we're in stage one here. But yeah, I was listening to The Light Brigade by Cameron Hurley, and have since stopped to chat with you guys, but I'm really, really enjoying it. Also, I have been reading Docile, as I mentioned yesterday, and made some good progress, but I didn't really start it until late yesterday, so I've been kind of aiming for about 100 pages a day, which is like super doable. I could probably finish it today, actually, but I think I read to like 175 or something like that, so it's alright progress. Not the best. I played a lot of Animal Crossing yesterday. I took a lot of naps, and as I said, we watched Under Siege by Steven Seagal. I keep forgetting the name of that movie. Today I actually got a decent night's sleep, just happened to, you know, lounge about in bed all morning, which is great. It's Sunday, why not? And to kind of have a late start to the day as well. That's okay. I think I'm gonna try to finish Docile today, which would be nice to like actually have a book done this weekend and for this vlog, so I feel like I have a sense of accomplishment while talking to you guys. I'm going to probably start that in between my bread baking when the dough is rising. I don't know what I'm going to read next. I should probably read something like The City We Became by N.K. Jemisin. I'm just really worried about like sort of the books that my brain wants right now versus, you know, what I actually have to read and need to read for review copies and stuff like that. I don't want to be falling behind on stuff, but yeah, I want to make sure that I'm reading things that I can like get through and am enjoying and all that, because everything's weird right now. So yeah, my kneading technique isn't bake-off worthy, but hey ho, what can you do? Yeah, I guess this is kind of an opportunity to talk about Docile, which I'm reading right now. It's funny. I think I'm gonna do a review of it because I have a lot to say about it. It's equal parts like really fascinating and really interesting, but it's also like batshit. Like, if you've been on Goodreads, you may have seen one of my friends did a review of it, a 1-star review of it. She really didn't enjoy it, which was kind of hilarious, and I'd highly recommend checking out that review just because it's really funny. But she makes some really good points about how, like, I know there's like, in the beginning, there's like, skip ahead, like this is not safe for work, so if you don't want to hear like weird sex shit, skip ahead. But there's one point where like there's a butt plug that like locks to Alex, who's kind of the trillionaire who bought Alicia's contract. It locks to his fingerprint, and it's just like, why do we have high-tech butt plugs? Like, I don't know. So some parts of it are kind of absurd, but other parts of it are really interesting. So we have Alex, who is the one who's the trillionaire. He's bought the contract. He's this really important person. He and his family make Docilene, which is the drug that makes dociles sort of be able to serve their service, which of course Alicia has refused because it's screwed up his mother. And he is very much convinced that he's one of the good guys. He doesn't see a problem with the way that the world works. He thinks that he is, you know, helping clear the world of debt. He's helping people, all of this stuff. But obviously, like, he's taking sex slaves. And this is obviously a huge part of the problem, and he just doesn't want to hear that Docilene doesn't work. And you have Alicia on the other side, who is obviously like one of these people who's in horrible debt through really no, you know, through no, like, none of his own actions, because it's all inherited. People inherit their parents' debt. You know, debt gets merged when people get married, so people have stopped getting married. And he, you know, is in this horrible position. He talks about, you know, when you have to make the decision between going and seeing a doctor and, you know, adding that much more debt to your already standing, you know, millions. So it's really, really interesting. I am really enjoying it. I think it's a really kind of fascinating book for our times, just because of, you know, there are, I'm sure, people out there who are doing the wrong thing, but think that they are doing
you know, the right thing when it comes to politics and, you know, passing laws and things like that. And it's just really fascinating. So I'm very curious to see how it goes forward. Hopefully when I'm not covered in bread dough. Yeah, we'll see how it is. But as I said yesterday, enjoying is not the right word, but I am enjoying it. Yeah. Right, forming this into a ball as much as humanly possible. Popping it in a bowl, got a little bit of oil, which means that it won't dry out when we are leaving it to rise. Coat the whole thing, da-da-da-da-da. Probably put too much oil in there. It's okay. I'm gonna cover that with a cloth, clean all of this up, and let it rise for an hour. Right, so I killed my camera battery by accidentally leaving it on the entire time that I was letting this rise, but voila, it's about doubled in size, which is excellent. That's probably a little more than an hour, but that's okay. So I can't hold the thingy, the camera, and roll all this out, so you'll see this when it's done. Woohoo! Bread's done. We might have already eaten about half of it. It's good though, really, really nice. So it is Sunday evening and it's time to wrap up this vlog because I'd really like to have this up today. That would be really nice. I've not been uploading regularly because of all the nonsense of the world, so it'd be really nice to have something up tonight. So I think I'm just gonna wrap this up now. I didn't read as much as I wanted to today. I've been playing a lot of Animal Crossing, and I have been doing lots of things like baking, as you guys have seen, but I am just under halfway through Docile. Again, enjoy is not the right word, but I don't have a better word, so I am enjoying it. It's pretty fucked up though. So I'm going to do a full review of this book, hopefully this week when I finish it, so you guys will be able to see more then. This is not going to be for everyone, but it has been a really interesting experience reading it. I wanted to have it finished today. That's just not going to happen, so hopefully maybe tomorrow or Tuesday it'll count towards my March reading and all will be well with the world. So yeah, this was the only book that I really made any progress on this weekend. I am also reading The Light Brigade by Cameron Hurley, but I've been saving that for work because it's an audiobook, so I haven't really listened to that this weekend. It's mostly just been Docile. I hope you enjoyed this reading vlog. It was meant to be a week-long vlog, but that didn't happen. I'm gonna aim to do a weekly vlog for this coming week starting tomorrow, but we'll see how it goes. But I would love to hear how you're doing in isolation, in quarantine, what you guys have been up to, what you've been reading, how you're staying sane. Let's chat, because I feel like vlogs are a really nice way of feeling like you're kind of hanging out with people. So let me know how you're doing. I post bookish content to this channel fairly frequently, so go ahead and hit subscribe, check back soon, and I will see you next time.